Hello and welcome to February's Tea Tasting Club. I'm Shona and I'm here from Bird and Blend Tea Company. Today we're going to look at February's Tea Club. So we've got quite a few lovely flavours to look at. There are 3 boxes. The first box is called the Flavour Explorer. The second box is our gourmet box, some more traditional flavours like an Earl Grey smoky Russian we're doing today. And then thirdly we have our caffeine free box. So we're going to talk about our Flavour Explorer box first of all. This month we've got the lovely fairy dust tea, which is a delicious green tea. We also have wedding cake tea, which is here. And the one I'm going to talk about in a bit more detail is this one, which is called Whole Lot of Love. So Whole Lot of Love is a really delicious herbal tea. It has in it beetroot, so it makes the tea a lovely pink colour, orange colour. And it has sprinkles, heart-shaped sprinkles, because February, as you know, is Valentine's Day month. There's also a little bits of cocoa in there, some spirulina, some delicious. I think the flavours are really sort of unusual as a herbal, so quite fruity actually as well. So what I'm going to do is, because of the orange in there, I'm going to bring out some of that flavour with some lemonade in a cold brew bottle. So for anyone who hasn't ever done a cold brew, let's try that out and I'll show you how to do it. So here's a cold brew bottle that I made earlier with the Whole Lot of Love, and you can see how lovely the colour is from the beetroot. And it's made with lemonade. So I'm just going to show you or tell you how to make that. So we've got the cold brew bottles, are incredible. So they have a filter on there, and they're great, especially sort of if you were having somebody around during like a party, or if you were having just a dinner, you could actually make your own cold brew. So what we do is you put 4 to 5 spoonfuls of the tea into the cold brew bottle here, and then you just add any lemonade you like. So I'm going to try it. I've got one I made earlier here, and I'm going to pour it into over ice like this, and we're going to give it a little try and see how it tastes. So let's try. Oh, that's really, really good. Another top tip you might find is overnight it might go a little bit flat. So the lemonade is obviously usually fizzy to start with. So if you wanted to pour it over ice, and then if you added a little bit of extra lemonade on top, that will give it a bit more fizz. So it's a great way to enjoy our Whole Lot of Love. So let's move on now to the gourmet selection box. There's 3 lovely teas this month. So we've got the coconut milk oolong, we've also got tea and toast, and the other one is the smoky Russian. So smoky Russian is one of my favourites. Me and my husband absolutely love it. And it's one of those Marmite flavoured teas. You either love it or you hate it, but I really think it's worth exploring, and so that's why it's in our box to try. So it contains lapsang, souchong, and it also has some Russian caravan tea in there, hence the name. So it has got a very smoky smell, and it tastes quite smoky when you drink it. So I'm going to make it in our brewdini. So the brewdini is here, and I've got my perfect teaspoon. So I'm going to put a perfect teaspoon into my brewdini, and then I'm going to put some 100-degree or boiling water into my brewdini, and I'm going to brew it for just 4 minutes. So how do we get that smoky taste and that smoky smell? So traditionally, tea was transported along the Silk Road, and when it was transported to Europe from Asia, the caravans that were often Russian caravans would actually stop overnight, and the tea would be there whilst they were having their like dinner, and they would set fires, and the smoke from the fires would get into the tea, so you got that smoky smell. That doesn't happen anymore, you'll be glad to hear. What happens now is it's recreated using a birch tree, and it's sustainable, and then it comes into the tea that way. So yeah, so it gives you that incredible smoky. I'm gonna have another sniff because I love it so much. It is really good. So now the time has gone and we've had our 4 minutes. I'm going to pop the brewdini on top of my mug, And you can see how well that goes through there like that. And how pretty is that? And once I've done that, as I say, you could add lemon to it. You could, I mean, some people add milk. It's really up to you. I'm going to add some honey. So I've got a little spoonful of honey here, not too much. I'm going to add that to it. And then I'm going to have a little taste. Hopefully not scorching my lips. Hold on. Okay. Oh, that's really good. I love it. So good. And the honey, I think sometimes you just need a little bit of extra sweetness. So I am getting a little bit, even though the overriding taste is the smoky lapsang and the Russian caravan, I'm also getting a little bit of the oolong in there as well, which is coming through, which is quite a delicate taste. So any of the gourmet lovers, tea lovers on here will maybe taste that. Oh, that's a lovely cup of tea. Lovely. And I hope you love it as much as I do. Please let us know if you've got any thoughts about this tea. I know that there'll be some of you out there that it's your favourite. So now let's talk about the caffeine-free box. So February's caffeine-free box has the Whole Lot of Love tea in it, the wedding cake tea, which I have here, and also it has in it Enchanted Narnia. So a herbal, a rooibos, and another herbal. So that's the first one we talked about was the Whole Lot of Love. Now let's talk about wedding cake. So wedding cake is actually a really delicious hot tea. So I'm going to start brewing it now. So I'm going to use the same as I had before. So a full perfect teaspoon here. I'm going to pop it into my brewdini, and then I'm going to add my boiling water and brew it for 4 minutes. So hot water goes in there. So that's our brewdini getting ready. The good thing about the brewdini is I can move that all over the place, and it will it's got the little feet on the bottom, so it's a really good one. You don't have to stand by your kettle. You can actually just go sit by the telly, or if you're by your computer or you're working, put it on by your desk, and you'll see in a minute how it works. So the timer's on for 4 minutes. So what is wedding cake then? So wedding cake is a rooibos tea. So the rooibos base is there, and it's also known as red bush. Rooibos is South African. A lot of people have confusions on how to say rooibos, but rooibos was one of the first words I learned when I started at Bird and Blend, as it's quite a tricky one to say. Anyway, so we've got the red bush or rooibos as a base, and then inside there we've also got some desiccated coconut, puffed rice, and rose. So the little rose petals and the puffed rice are something that you would maybe see at a wedding. So it's got that kind of element to it. And we're going to have a taste of this tea with some coconut milk. So it's still brewing nicely there. And then I'm going to make a tea just as a hot tea. I love this with just a bit of coconut milk. I find that that really brings out the flavour of the coconut in the tea and adds something to it. And often when I'm choosing what milk to have, it's quite often what I would go with the tea. So let's have a go now and see how that tastes. So my timer's gone off, and as you can see, there we have that lovely red colour. That's why it's called red bush. It's really delicious, and we're going to put that into our glass mug. And what's lovely about this, you can see how it's coming through my brewdini at the bottom. It's also known as a gravity steeper. And then when you pick it up, there's no drips, and that can go out there. And now I'm going to just add a little bit of coconut milk to it and see how delicious that tastes. I do love a rooibos tea, especially at night time. Obviously, it's great without the caffeine, and let's give it a little stir. So let's give it a taste. So I find the rooibos is really good because it's quite porous, a bit like any of the Camellia sinensis teas, any of our black teas. It really absorbs the flavours well. So that is really, really good. So I am getting the tasting notes, a very caramelly taste, but very cakey. Obviously, I would expect that from wedding cake. And the coconut is coming through really nicely as well there. So I think the puffed rice adds something as well. So it's a really delicious tea, and it's a firm favourite with customers. So that's all from February's tea club. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the teas that we are sending out this month. Please feel free to give us a follow and go onto our socials and send us some comments on your thoughts about the teas. And if you want to go onto our website, you can try looking for some more teas in those different sections, like the rooibos ones. I think you'd like to see some more flavours there. So yeah, enjoy those teas.